to another edition of the Football House update. We are broadcasting live from Football House in Kanifing. And of course, I am Ibrahim Osware presenting. It's been a while, and we know you missed this program, but we miss you too. And it was not easy for us to be away, but due to circumstances beyond our control and engagements here and there with the national teams, and of course the league and other engagements. That is why this program, could not hold this past few weeks. But we are glad that our producers and the technicians behind the show have done everything possible to have this show tonight. I will have a special mention to the producer, Mariama Boja. She's been, going up and down to make sure that we come on air this morning. But away from that, it's a pleasure. Like I said, I am Ibrahim Asware tonight or this morning, and of course, I have a special guest, and guess what? We are going to exclusively discuss about the GFF Baluo Partnered League Division 1. As excited as it must have been for you, we have been overwhelmed. We have been excited with the trend that the league is taking, and of course, it will go to the wire. And we will discuss. I will discuss with my guests this morning about the league. So we will tell you things or facts you might not notice about the ongoing league, especially facts about the champions, Real de Banjul. So welcome on board, and time to introduce my special guest. Is no other than Alhaji Ahmad Cham, and Secretary General of the Gambia Coaches Association, as well as former champions, with Real de Banjul, former coach of BST Galaxy, and the list goes on. I cannot mention all the teams he has passed through, and has left a lasting sweet memory behind those teams. Just recently helping BST Galaxy gain promotion from the second to the first tier, and leaving them at mid-table. It's quite an achievement. Good morning, Coach, and welcome to Football House Update.
Good morning, Ibrahim. I'm very happy to be here, especially to talk about Gambian football, look at the National League, and look at the permutations with 2 matches to go. I'm very, very happy to be here to have this discussion.
Thank you so much, Coach. It's always a pleasure. But before we move on to our main topic of discussion, which is about the league, and take us through your take on the the so far tenure of Coach McKinstry. The 2 matches that the Gambia have played, and winning one, losing unfortunately the other against Gabon, and beating winning convincingly in the first and outing. What do you make of the matches so far?
Yeah, thank you very much for asking this question. It's not only about the matches that he has already played. It's about when he came to the Gambia, how he interacted with people. For the first time, a Gambian coach, local or international, is given the job, and you come and say, I want to meet the coaches. This is the first time it happened in the history of Gambian football, and we loved the initiative that he took. And we came, we spoke with him, we had a discussion, and his logo is together in this. And he asked us questions, how we can help him and how he can help us. And at the end of the day, we all collaborate. He's part of the Coaches Association. He's within the WhatsApp group. He communicates with the coaches.
So he's already an active member?
Yeah, he's already an active member. He have started sharing some of his literature with the coaches, and we are working smoothly with him. That is a different thing, but so far what we have seen in his games, we see that he is trying to change the mindset of the team, because yes, Coach Tom did very well for Gambian football. During his tenure, we qualified to the AFCON for the first and second time, which we have to always recognize. But you would see that probably he was playing a football that most of the Gambians don't like. And when Johnny came, the first thing he did is, we all saw that there was a change of mindset. First, he decided to go with younger players. And for the first time, we had a player from the Senegalese league, the centre back, who's playing, who come and starts in our national team. And we have a lot of young, talented players into the team who are playing regular football. The likes of Adama Sidibe, all invited in the national team. And they did justice by probably Adama coming in from the bench and scored his goal on his debut. Those were things that were very positive, and that is for the game against Seychelles. And if you look at the game against Gabon, in Gabon, we were playing away. We were playing in Gabon. What interests me most was when the team list was out. For the first time, Gambia played with one defensive midfield player.
Yeah, the start list.
Yeah,
it was like,
and we had
who is a midfielder? Who is playing defensive midfield? And
we had Ibu Adams as the holding midfield player. He could have, if he wanted, he could have used Yusufa Bob, who did very well in the first game. But he decided to be very offensive and brought in Ibu Adams as the holding midfield player. Then had
it was
Alassane Mane as the holding midfield player. Yeah. Then had Ibrahim Akoli on one as one offensive midfield player, and Musa Barrow on the other side. So you see, what I saw there is in our midfield so far, we don't have a left footer.
Oh, okay.
And Ibrahim Akoli is a left footer who can play as a flank player and can play in midfield. He can play as a second striker. And I think that was the idea, to give a balance in the midfield, playing with another left footer and a right footer in midfield in front of the defensive midfield player. Which I think for the first time we see Gambia dominate a team away, keep possession, creating chances, and score the goal. But
they really frustrated the
Gabonese. And unfortunately, something bizarre happened. The lights went off for over 30 minutes. When they came back, probably before our team got to the rhythm they were supposed to, the Gabonese scored the equalizing goal, and the rest is history. At the end of the day, we lost the game 3-2. 3-2,
yeah.
And that's it.
And I think we have to talk about the fighting spirit of the boys. Despite everything that went on, you know, they were leading 1-0, coming to the second half. The team continued the same trend, pressing and playing some beautiful stuff. And of course, when the lights went off, as you highlighted, you know, it went off for close to 40 minutes, you know, and it came back. The team was somehow down before they catch up. Gabon scored 3 quick goals. And but to fight back, to score a goal, and had a possible penalty appeal that was turned down in the dying moments of the game. I think there is spirit in this team.
Yeah, I think young players, because the team, the doyen in the team is the team captain. Apart from him, all the other players, yes, have been playing. Some of them have been playing for the national team, but they are not aging players. They are young and experienced players. So what happens with young players is most of the time they play without fear. They are not afraid to express what they can do, and they are not afraid to run after other players. They are not afraid to chase. So with young players, they play with zero fear. Yeah. So I think just the braveness of the coach to select some of these young players have paid dividend for him.
Exactly. I think overall you are satisfied, you are happy, or you think there is still room for improvement?
Yeah, there is room for improvement, especially in our attacking third. We have to take our chances.
Yeah,
we have to. When we create chances, we have to. And that is not only for Gambia, that's a problem for African football. That's a problem even in the National League. So we have to make sure that we take our chances when we create them.
It happened in both matches. Against Seychelles, the first half should have been a done deal.
Yeah.
Against Gabon, 2, 3, 4 chances.
Yeah, we have to. And I'm very happy that even the coach did not even talk about the incident of the light, the incident of the. He said we have to take our chances, and these are things that he will talk to his players about and make sure that they when they have the chances, they start finishing them.
Exactly. Now, let's shift our attention to our main topic of discussion. That is the GFF Division One League. You know, in partnership with Baluo. It's exciting, you know, to say the least. But you know, before we go into the details, what do you make of this season's league? Even though Real de Banjul are, you know, confirmed champions, they've run away with the title, but all other positions are still up for grabs.
Now you will see that it's an upgrade for Real's performance. Last season, Real won the league, I think, by 1 point, right? This year, it's a big gap. That shows that they have upgraded the performance of the team, collected more points, and which probably last year they would have dropped. And that is showing the level of performance in the team and consistency. They have rectified certain issues and so make sure that they are a better team. And you will see that this season they have a very steady centre back in Makaira Tambedu, who last season played in the second division with Elite, and this year he went after a lengthy injury. He played with Elite, and this time he is back with the Real de Banjul first team. And Juni Forsan, I think, who was the best defender in the team. He is calm, collected, and very good with the ball. So last season he was not in the team. This year it's a good addition. Yanguba Sabale, I think, did great games. Lamin, the same thing. So they have a very good squad, and I think that have improved. And some of the young players like Asan Kaur, Suso, Mohamed Suso, Aliou Cisse, all these players are doing extremely well, and I think it is helping the growth of the club. And they did not only stop there; they went further to camp some of the players that probably they are the younger players. And you see that these are some of the players that did extremely well in the second round for the club, and I think that's wonderful to the management of the club, the president who's always there, the first vice president, the second vice president, Mr. Pa Yusufa and Bagari Jame. I think they are doing very, very well with this club. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about today's fixtures before we, because that will lead us to the other things we want to discuss, especially on the relegation front. I know all the teams from 8th position are playing this afternoon. You have Bombarda taking on Marimo, Samga, Banjul United, Birkama United, BST Galaxy, Banjul, TMT, Falcons, and Walidan. And, you know, let's look at the fixtures. Let's first start with the Birkama game between Bombarda and Marimo. Both teams are not yet safe and need maximum points.
Yeah, I think all the games that are being played today, there is a possibility of involves teams that are all possible relegation candidates. And that is why those games are played at the same time and the same day. It's very interesting. Yes, Bombarda playing at home, Marimo playing away, and Bombarda, I think, have played all their games in all the games they played in Birkama. Probably they did not in the first round. They did not lose. I think, and they are a team that plays without fear. They enjoy what they are doing, and they want to dominate teams. They want to show teams that we can play football, and especially when playing in Birkama. And I know the fan base will be there, the support will be there for the club to make sure that they achieve what they should. And it's a game that winner takes it all. Whoever wins will pull away from the other, and the other will be going closer to the relegation. To 15. All these teams can be relegated. It's only Samga is relegated.
Exactly.
So apart from Samga, all the teams from 9th to the 5th relegated. So, but if you look at them, they have to have different results to make sure that they stay in the first division.
And Bombada is on 31 points. So you can see that their fate is
All in their own hands.
In their own hands, and they have to play it all. So one has to win. That is Samga is relegated, but Banjul United have a lot of work to do, and Samga has to play for pride. At least they want to go down, but they will not.
To go down heads up.
Exactly. So that game will be played at the Serekunda East.
Yeah, it will be interesting because Banjul United have to come all out to win the game. They have 32 points, right?
31.
31 points. They have to go all out to win the game, at least to go to 34. And Samga would have to know that, look, we are playing for our pride. Yes, we are going down, but we are going down with our heads up. So they have to make sure that they come all out to give Banjul United the test they deserve. And that becomes the pride. When Banjul United win the games by working hard, they will know that they did it their own way, and that's why they are still in the first division. So it's going to be, all these games today will be very, very interesting.
The Brikama BST in Basuri, that's another game to watch out for, because Brikama are on 32 points, BST are on 34 points. So even at the level that BST are in, they are not 100% safe yet.
Yeah, if BST need 3 points to be safe, they need 3 points to make sure that they are first division team next season, and they have 2 games to play. They are playing Birkama, and their last game is against Rhino, right? So I believe with the quality in that team, I said this the last time, the quality of players they have young, hungry players who I think the club management did very well to make sure that they keep all these players in the team. With the quality, I still believe that it's a team that will stay in the first division. They will either win today or go against the last game, but I believe they can do it today by beating Birkama, which is going to be very difficult. It's a football game. Birkama know what they are playing for, and BST know what they are playing for. They all have to win the game to be safe. Birkama would want to win so that they have 35 points. BST would want to win to make sure they have 37 points and go into the last game without pressure. Without pressure. But if things goes like this up to the end of these games, and you go into the last games, everybody is under pressure. So you want to rather go to the last game without pressure, knowing that I'm already a first division team, I'm going to stay next season. Then you know with players, probably some of the players, you will rest them and bring some of the other young players to come. But I believe they can make it. Birkama have to fight tooth and nail to make sure that they stay in the first division because of the community following. And if you have to lose all of them, Birkama and Bombada, it's going to be something else. So they all have to fight to make sure that they stay in the first division.
Interesting. The other game, Wabanjul TMT at the Goal Project. Wabanjul also with 30 points, TMT 37 points, partially safe, but not still have something to play. I think they will need a point to be safe.
I think with 37 points, because if you look at Wabanjul, they can only have 36 points.
And some guys already
some guys already relegated. Then Walidan, with all the 2 games, they can only have 38 points. So for me, I believe TMT is already safe in the first division. They don't have a lot to play for. They have to play for their pride. They are also in the FA Cup final. They want to have that preparation taking the team to the FA Cup final. And Wabanjul being that stubborn team, since they came into the first division, have traumatized a lot of teams in the first division. Make sure all the big giants, the Real de Banjul, Hawks, they all suffered defeat against Wabanjul, Walidan, all the traditional teams. So they would want to stay in the first division to continue and do the good job they were doing. And I believe they have the talent. I have seen them train. I have trained with them. I think They have the talent to keep the team in the first division. They just need to score a goal, and when they score a goal, they are very resolute defensively, and they have the best dead ball taker specialist probably in this league in Ibrahima Kamara. And I think they will make good use of it. And every time when they train, they do these set pieces to at least see when they can score a goal from it. And if they score it, they try to keep it close for the other teams.
Interesting, the final game, Falcons, Walidan also with all to play for. Falcons are playing to consolidate their grounds in second place. So it's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, Walidan, record champions, is a team that we all followed when we were young. And it's disappointing to see them struggling in this league, especially in the foot of the table. They will be relegated. They will not be relegated, being the issues with a team that had controlled Gambian football, especially at national league level, did extremely well. I think they will go into this game with a lot of pressure. Falcons will not have that pressure a lot because they know they almost secure the second place. It is almost a deal done with their place. And you would see that the season is ending almost like it ended last season.
Last season, exactly.
It was Real de Banjul first, Falcon second, and it seems we are having the repeat of that.
Fortune, it seems
Fortune is fighting for third place. With Rhino losing against Biko, it seems like it's now between Biko and Fortune for third place. So it's very, very interesting. I think Walidan would have to go into this game to make sure that they try to win the game. Because if they win it, everything is in their hands. They have 31 points. They will also be 34 points.
And their final game is going to be against Fortune.
And so they have to at least win this game today to have that platform of taking the team to the next level. Because if you go always in the last game, there will be a lot of pressure. And you have to do this and wait for the other results. But if you know your fate today, you'll be in a position to know how you play your cards in the last game, whether you have to go and look for a win or you look for a draw to stay in the first division.
Exactly. And that game against Fortune, I know we will look at all the teams that are in the relegation battle to look at, there are 2 remaining matches. But Walidan's against Fortune in the final game might be a tricky fixture, because Fortune, like you said, are fighting to at least return to where they were last season. And currently, Biko is occupying that space with 48 points. Fortune are on 46 points. So they have 2 more points. They are 2 more points behind Biko. So, and one thing about them, they played a game more. So they have Fortune have only 1 game to go. That is going to be against Walidan. So you can see how tricky and how important a win is for Walidan in today's fixture. Because who knows, Fortune might say we still want to remain third if we can.
I think if and you know that the truth is, since that incident at the Independence Stadium when Fortune was winning the league, since that incident, I can safely tell you that it's not a problem of the coach, but I can see that both clubs are finding it very difficult to get over it. So if it depends on Fortune to Walidan to be relegated, I think they would do their best to make sure. And if they have to play, they have to be professionals, do their job. Walidan have to go and do a job today, win the game, wait for the last games, and make sure that if they win the last game, they stay in the first division. It's today's games are games not for draws.
Absolutely.
A team have to win these matches.
Because a draw might, like I said, relegate both teams.
Yeah. So a team have to win these games.
It doesn't favor any. So one has to win.
That is why I said weeks ago when Birkama played Bambada that one team had to win that game.
Yeah, that draw.
But unfortunately, it was a draw.
It was
And since the draw, you see that they are all struggling in the same area. Probably if Bombada had won, they would have moved ahead of Birkama. Then, if Birkama had won, it would be the opposite. But you would see that they played a draw, and it was difficult. And still, they're all in the same points, and they're all struggling. Yeah.
Interesting, you know. Now, before we wrap up with Real de Banjul, looking at their stats in the league, it's just amazing and unbelievable. Some of the stats that Real de Banjul have produced. I know the last time we spoke with the coach. In fact, we will air that this week. You know, he talked about you know, records. They want to make record. They want to make it very difficult to beat their records. Even they themselves will go next season finding it very difficult to beat those records. So I think if a coach have that mindset, it's just amazing, you know, to see. Because always we talk about the likes of Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. You know, whenever his team is winning 2-3-0, he will be on the touchline, you know, shouting, you know, and wanting more. So I think it's very good to see those things being replicated in our league. But we discussed about the two remaining matches of all the teams that are in danger of relegation. I know Samga, like you said, they have a lot to do in this relegation battle, even though they are relegated, but they have to play Banjul United and Bombard. And both these teams need these points to be safe from relegation. So Samga have a major role to play for in the relegation battle, despite
already
relegated.
Yeah, they can decide the teams that are going to follow them. Yeah, if they are in a position to pick 6 points from this, that would give them 28 points, and that would give them a respectable point tally, and that will affect the teams that they are going to play against. Because if Banjul United still stay at 32 points and the Bombarda stays at the same number of points, they are going to struggle to stay in the first division. So I think Samga will play a great part in deciding who stays in the league.
Exactly. Banjul have TMT, like we discussed, and Steve Biko. So as Walidan, it seems they also have to collect maximum points, because Steve Biko also has something to play for in the final game of the season.
Yeah, Fortune had already played, and they drew against Real, right? So I think Biko won their last game. Now they are leading by 2 points.
Exactly.
Probably they might not need to win the last game to be this third place team. So because Biko is left with 1 game, and Fortune is also left with 1 game, and that is against Walidan. So it depends on what happens today. If Walidan beats Falcons, then that means probably Biko can even finish second. That
because Falcon has 51 points.
No, so Biko 48. If they win their next game, they can fight for the second place.
Interesting. Walidan, we've discussed about them. They have to play Falcons this afternoon, and next is Fortune. Banjul have to play Samga and Gaf. You know, Gaf, one might say they are already safe with 38 points, so they don't have much to play for. They have their final game against Banjul United, but still, a game in hand is not points.
It's
in
not
hand.
points. Yeah.
So
you have to
win the game. And Birkama United has BST Galaxy and TMT. So one might say those are tricky fixtures.
Yeah, very tricky. They are all tricky because TMT will play to make sure that they have that smooth transition to the FA Cup final without losing games, and they will give it very difficult for teams. But Birkama and BST, this is a final between these two teams in this first game. Birkama want to win, BST want to win. And that means if BST wins, they are going to stay in the first division. If Birkama wins, all teams have to go into the last group matches, still jittery, still under pressure to see whether they will stay in the league.
Bombada has Marimo and
Samga.
Samga, like we said. Samga has a lot to say. And Marimo has Bombada and Greater Tomorrow. And so that one also, it's
No, I think Marimo and Bombada's game today, it's a final.
Yeah.
Just like BST and Birkama, because these are teams that are very close to each other in the league. And one have to win to pull away. And if it is a draw, it's still good for the teams. Like if these games are draw, BST don't have to win the next game. They can be safe in the first division. So it's very, very important. These matches, they have winners today.
Interesting. BST, not much to say. We've talked about them. They play in Birkama and Team Rhino. And, TMT already, Banjul and Birkama United. So we've discussed about them. Now, let us talk about Real de Banjul. I've been looking at the table standings. I know it's public knowledge. People have had these tables, have easy access to the table standings. But one thing that strikes me the most is the number of wins, the number of goals scored, and their goal difference. It's only been matched by Falcons, and I think Falcons and it's already been it's Falcons and Fortune who has scored 34 goals, and Real de Banjul has a goal difference of 34, scoring 53 goals. So the rest of the teams in the division, even the goal difference of Real de Banjul is more than what the other teams have scored. So it's something else.
It's all about the hard work they are putting in the club, and I think the camping of those young players had paid dividend for Real de Banjul. They were in a position to come back and score the goals. And what they did in the second round is they made Basori a fortress. Any team that played in Basori, the minimum goals you concede is 2. And they went a lot of games scoring 4 goals. They defeated TMT 4-0. They defeated BST. They defeated Banjul. Every time they score goals, they score a lot of goals, especially in Basori. So they made Basori a fortress. Make sure that any team that comes there, you have to fight for their lives. I think only 2 teams were in a position to collect maximum points against them in Basori. And that is Banjul United was the team that defeated them there. And they had a draw with Armed Forces in the first round. Apart from that, I think they were in a position to beat all the teams hands down in Basori without struggling. So it was good that they have their own pitch and made sure that it's a fortress for them. And if you have that, you train there, you know the pitch, the records will continue coming. And I think they work very, very hard as a club.
But 20 wins is just staggering. Looking at this league, how competitive it is, how difficult it is to collect maximum points, to have 20 wins for out of 29 matches. It's just
I remember you were playing 30 games, and you have 15 games in Basori for Real de Banjul. The chances of winning, I think they lost only 1 game in Basori out of those 15 matches. So any other win, they are in a position to collect outside. So it depends. So when they play at home, they go all out to make sure that they win games. And when they play away, they have a strategy. If they score the first goal and probably score the second goal, they won in Banjul against TMT. They won in Banjul against Walidan. And they defeated Banjul United. So they were in a position to make sure that when they go away, they collect the maximum points. And when you play at their backyard in Basori, they make sure that they beat you hands down. So it's an interesting statistics. Out of 30 games, you win than 20 matches.
Because they still have a game.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So, and the last game is the day they will be coronated as the champions.
Exactly.
And I think they will always want to go there and win the match and take their championship and set a record.
Incredible. But, you know, like I said, 20 wins, 5 draws, only 4 defeats. It means defensively also, they have, like you highlighted, you know, these young players that have joined the club this season and have played a part in, especially the defensive part.
I think they have one of the best right backs in the Gambian league, in Mustafa Nyasi, who is offensive, who can take the ball forward, who can defend. Makaira also stabilized the center part, defending. He also had a competition for the goalkeepers. Was Yankuba Sabali and Lamino. That's a big competition, so everybody will want to play. And they have this young goalkeeper, Ibrahim Balde, who was also sitting on the bench. So, and they're all good goalkeepers. So that competition, whoever makes the mistakes, you know that probably next game I'm going out. So you play to the best of your abilities to make not to make the mistakes, to keep you in the team. And sometimes you hear the player say, hey, this starting 11 is difficult to play in. So if I have the opportunity and I'm playing, I'll do everything to make sure that I stay in the 11. So it's that interesting, it is.
And one thing I have, you know, I saw or I have paid attention to when watching Real de Madrid. Yes, I'm not a coach, but their transition from defense to attack. They have this quick break, and they have very fast, you know, flank players. Like you said, the
Mohamed Suso,
yeah, exactly. These are very, in a blink of an eye, they are on your, at the edge of your box, and their accuracy it's just second to none. They can score goals from anywhere on that attacking that.
And they take shots. You will see that if Musa and their strikers are also tall. You have this kid from Abdurrahman Badamosi, who plays as a striker. He's tall. He can hit. Asan Kaur, the son of late Papa Sarr Kaur, is also playing in Real. I think they have deadly strikers who can take the opportunities to score goals. And when the crosses come, they make sure that they don't just whip the ball inside the box. They look for targets to make sure that they score the goals. And they're pacey. Mohamed Suso, for me, blessed the league in the second round.
The first round was Alassana Irajang.
When Irajang left, he came and just wore his shoes and they fit him and he started working for the club.
It's interesting, Real de Banjul and what they have managed to achieve so far. And their gaffer, I know Ibrahim Ajata, his experience, he has an experience of winning the league with GAF, but you know, talking to him, he's like, the demand. I know you were at Real de Banjul. You are no stranger to you know what goes on behind the scenes. But he said the demand is so huge, and you have people that have invested a lot in the club, and that will do anything to make sure that they achieve the desired result.
Yeah, they are a very demanding club because they put a lot of work in the club, outside, inside. Really, the president is the only club president you see every day on training ground as long as he's in Gambia. And he would know probably the team that will start the game. If he's going to miss it, he will miss it by one player because he's there every day. He sees how you train. He knows probably some of the players. So I think it's all about hard work, and they work extremely hard to make sure that they achieve what they want to achieve.
Interesting. I know we have some few minutes to wrap up. But before we go, let's look ahead to, you know, I know Mariama will be here on Wednesday to talk about the Women's FF Cup final between Berewuleng and serial winners, Red Scorpions. That's another game to look forward to on Sunday. And of course, that game is something else. But the FF Cup final also, the male is coming up. TMT and Medina. I don't think any of us at the beginning of when the draw was made, and at the beginning of the competition, foresee a second division team in Medina. That has not happened since Young Africans did it, and having a newly promoted team also in TMT playing the FF Cup final. That must be an exciting game.
That simply means that we are going to have a new winner of the FA Cup.
Absolutely.
No
matter what
we are going to have a new winner.
So,
I think with Medina they did extremely well when they hired Aliou Jagne, experienced coach, and I think he had changed the mentality of the team. He had gone in for players who were competing in the first and the second division to beef up his team in the second round. And because of that, I think the performance has showed on the pitch. And he's working very hard every day to make sure that the team stays where it should be. And with TMT, as I said the last time, TMT and BST Galaxy changed the dynamics of Gambian football, especially when it comes to the media work, the social media issues, all these things. They change the dynamics. You talk about them every now and then, probably. That is one reason. And they have their leadership are people who are really interested in the game, and they work very hard to achieve what they so. And I think kudos to Omar Sedikan. That is why TMT is where it is now in the FA Cup final, first season, asking in the first time.
Interesting. It's we must say our final words, because we are completely out of time, and my producer behind the background is just Nila Nekati. 3 minutes,
yeah.
So, Coach, it's been a pleasure. Finally, what would you finally share with us before we take?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here just to talk about the game, and I hope my former club is in a position to stay in the first division today by winning the game.
I know you're
at least they have to by winning the game today and stay in the first division. I'm praying that happens today, because I know the quality is there from the team. They have the quality to do it, and hopefully they can do it today in Basel.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Coach Ahmad Cham. Definitely not the last time you will see his face on this program. I know when we are reviewing the league, we will have him here to look at what must have been done right for some teams and did not go well for other teams. Which teams have been relegated? The regional league finals are ongoing. Just last weekend, or this past weekend, on Saturday, we are in Birkama between Sibanor United and Balosar. It was just electric. That game 3-3, and Balosar won by 4-1 on penalty shootout. Yesterday it was the KM finals between Bakau Kumani. Unfortunately, again they suffered another heartbreak in the finals. This time around against Football Heroes on penalty shootouts also, after a goalless draw, and 5-4. Just one miss. That is why on penalties. So nyake bena rek yang si problem. These teams are, and the female champions, Jog on Lioness of Bakau. They are the female champions of the KM region. So that's all we have for you this morning. We are already in the afternoon. So join us on Wednesday when Mariama will be on the hot seat, and exclusive discussion will be on the Women's FF Cup final between Red Scorpion and Berewole. Until we come your way on Wednesday, it's a pleasure, and thank you for joining us. Have a good day ahead. Goodbye.